Yeah.
But is there a problem to share it? And does it take up more?
No, the question is if it's, if Ruvain loses from it, I think.
Yeah, Reuven doesn't like it.
Well, he loses from
Yeah.
it. He doesn't like it.
He likes
Distracts him.
seeing Rabbi's picture.
You can't make.
Oh.
Why doesn't that,
After Rabbi turns it on, I go back and.
let me just get rid of this. How do I get rid of that?
Oh, I see.
Okay, I'm not sure about that. Okay. Why is it not working? Are we on the meeting? I'm a little confused today. Okay, I hope we're on. So the Gemara on the second wide line. Amar Rav Yudah Amar Rav. Hey Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi. Shama Mishum Ovid. The following statement, Rav said that Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yosef said to Rabbi in the name of his father Rabbi Yosef. So Rabbi Yosef is being quoted. Rav says Rabbi Yosef is being quoted. Lo shanu b'lo she'ein shtar ksuba Yosef mitachas yadeha. Avol shtar ksuba Yosef mitachas yadeha. Gavuk subas ha'olam. This point that she's mochel, if she didn't say anything within 25 years, it's only if she doesn't have the shtar. And she can come to business with evidence that her husband died, and she also has set up to get ksuba even without the contract, the piece of paper, document. But if she has a document, then the fact that she was quiet doesn't show anything because she's secure. The fact that she has the document, that makes her feel secure, and she's not mochel. Rashi says a little bit stronger that if she was mochel, she would have given over. She would have given over the document. If the fact that she has a document of the ksuba and she didn't give it over to the yisomim to say it's okay, it's finished already, that shows that she was not mochel. That's what Yossi was quoted. So it's going to be a limitation on the Rabbanan Shita that even though she's quiet for 25 years, she's mochel. If she has the shtar, and then she comes to demand it with the shtar after 25 years, then she could collect because she wasn't mochel. That was what Rav said in the name of Rabbi Yossi. But Rabbi Elazar Omar, he doesn't know this difference. Even if she has the document, if she was quiet for 25 years, that is a proof that she was mochel and she cannot collect. So it seems to be machlokas. I don't know. Or it's assessing her das. The question seems to be psychological. If she has the document, what would she have done if she wants to be mochel? So it seems to be machlokas between Rav and Rabbi Elazar. Rav quoted Rav Yossi. Maybe Rabbi Elazar is arguing what Rabbi Yossi said. He's an Amora. Rabbi Elazar is usually an Amora. Rabbi Elazar ben Pedas. So how would he argue on Rabbi Yossi? I'm not sure. But maybe they're arguing what Rabbi Yossi said. Anyway, it comes out of machlokas so far. If it makes a difference that she has a shtar. If she has the document of the ksuba, maybe she's not mochel. It's not approved that. Must have Rav Sheshes. If Sheshes has a brisa that he thinks is going to say that she, even if she has a document, still she's mochel. It says in the brisa these couple of words: Balchov gova shalo be'azkara. A balchov. It only spoke about a ksuba. That a ksuba that was quiet for 25 years, she's mochel. How about a balchov? You have a regular balchov. You let somebody money, and you didn't demand it for 25 years. And then what do they call that nowadays? After a certain time, it expires.
Limitations, I don't know.
It's kashnut. And in English,
Statute of limitations.
limitation. Then after 25 years, so over there maybe it has to do also with loans. Also, somebody didn't
But
collect
we
the
have a
loan.
7-year thing, don't we? It's
7
gonna
year
go
what?
out. It's going to go out after the loans go out.
No, he made a principle.
Oh, you're talking here. Oh, yeah. No issue about.
No
Also,
issue.
only right. No issue about.
We're assuming that
There's a
you
principle. Yeah. So here the question is
principles.
that do you say by a balchov if he didn't demand it 25 years? Also, he's mochel. Maybe somebody's going to say
If you
that.
didn't what?
Maybe he's mochel. He didn't demand the chov. The creditor, the lender didn't demand the debt for 25 years. So it says no. That's different. Balchov gova shelo b'azkara. A regular creditor could demand that even if he did not mention it within the 25 years, he didn't say anything about it. Also, he could collect. The different than a ksuba. Ksuba is different. What's the case that he can collect even after 25 years? Either lo nakach Torah, but my gov. If he doesn't have the deed, the contract, the document that he lent him the money, then with what right is he coming to collect? The guy's going to say, I never borrowed from you. Ella the nakach Torah. It must be that he does have a document, and it says that there's a difference between a balchov and a ksuba. Balchov who the lav baruch only the balchov. He's not mochel. Why should he be mochel? Rashi says there's a difference between a balchov and a ksuba. A ksuba, she didn't give out any money. Somebody lent money. There's no svara why you should be mochel. It's my money. I lent you money. Why should I be mochel? But a ksuba, even though Chazal made it such a takana that a woman is eligible to get ksuba, but she doesn't feel like she spent any money. There's more reason why she should be mochel. And a balchov has no reason to be mochel. So there's no mechila. But it says it must be talking about that there's a contract. And almana achilta. It can't even be medayik that it must be that there's a contract over here, and still only balchov is not mochel, but a woman is mochel. So that would be a proof to Rabbi Lazar that even if there's a star, she's mochel after 25 years. The Gemara says a simple teretz. He has the kasha, but he answered it. No, the case only when there's no star, there's a star, no one's mochel. The person who's liable, the borrower, he's not denying any facts. The Gemara first thought that if there's no contract, so then he's going to die. He said, I don't owe you any money. The Gemara says, who says? He's an honest guy. He says, yeah, I borrowed money, but you've been quiet for 25 years. So the Rashi says the difference between a balchov and a ksuba. By the balchov, there's no reason why he should have been mochel. But by a woman, she was mochel if she didn't mention it. But you have no proof that it's talking about with a contract. There is no contract, but everyone's being honest. The Yisomim are honest about the borrowers. Everyone's honest. We know the facts. I agree. But the question is, the fact that you were quiet for 25 years, does that show mechila? So the Gemara thought it had a proof that it's talking about with a star, but the Gemara deflected the proof, doesn't say anything over here. The Gemara has a similar point now, mamish is similar to what we just brought before. 3 lines from the bottom. Shonen. We learned in the Brisa. Shonen means like Tana Rabbanan. Shonen, Shaninu, Tanya, Kurusha, Arei, Kibalchov. That a divorced woman is like a balchov. Also, she's not mochel. Man gives a ksuba either if he died, then his estate is meshubah to the ksuba, or if he divorced his wife, he has to give the ksuba. He divorced his wife and she didn't demand the ksuba for 25 years. Then she comes after 25 years, she wants the ksuba from her husband. So he says 25 years. Now he woke up. So she says, yeah, and she's right, and she's like a balchov, and just because she was quiet for 25 years, she's not mochel. She's only mochel. Why? Yeah. So Rashi says that besides the fact that it's a ksuba, which also she didn't give anything by the balchov. So Rashi says because she also feels that she benefited. What does Rashi say? That she benefited from the Yisomim during those 25 years. There's a little bit of Rav Meir's for. Rav Meir said something about that she benefited. She ate up monetarily. She ate up
I would talk about the almana.
the almana. The almana and the grusha is different. By the almana, she has some gratitude that they've been giving her mazonos for 25 years. So maybe she's mochel. It's a combination of the two stories. Before, Rav Meir said that nothing to do with gratitude. It has to do with you ate up 25 years worth. You ate the ksuba. The Rabbanan don't say that, but the fact that they were giving her mazonos living in their house, so she has gratitude, and it could be she'll be mochel. But a grusha is not getting anything, and they left on good terms. He divorced her, so then there's no reason why she should be mochel even after 25 years. The Gemara goes through the same steps. What's the case? Is there ksuba? Is there no ksuba? The Gemara thought if there's no ksuba, he's gonna deny the whole thing. So it's talking about there is a ksuba, and still there's a difference between a grusha and almana. It means almana is mochel even if there is a deed contract. The Gemara says no. It's talking about that there's no contract and everyone's honest. Everyone's agreeing to the facts. The question is, was she mochel? The Gemara goes through the whole thing again. What's the case that the grusha is not mochel? Either lonakita ksuba, but my gavia. If there's no ksuba, so then she has no way of collecting in the first place. It must be she has the ksuba. I love the nakita ksuba. She's holding on to the ksuba, and it says a grusha is not mochel and almana is mochel. Grusha ita labas achilahu, almana achilta. The grusha is not mochel, but the almana is mochel. And you see, even if there's a contract, she's mochel after 25 years. And the Moshe says the same teretz again. Everyone's being honest. No one's denying it. He says, I do owe you the ksuba, but you were mochel because you didn't ask for 25 years. So she says, no, it's not mochel. What happened so far? This new sugya, it started on the second white line. Machlokis, Rabbi Rav and Rabbi Lazar, Rav in the name of Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Lazar. If the fact that she has a ksuba, does that affect the fact that she was quiet for 25 years, does that affect it in any way? Rav said that she's not mochel if she has a ksuba, even if she was quiet. The silence doesn't show anything if she has a ksuba. And Rabbi Lazar said even if she has a ksuba, if she's quiet for 25 years, it is a right that she's mochel. The bottom line is it's still going to be a little bit connected to this sugya still. Rav Nachman Yitzchak, Tani Rav Yehuda Bar Kaza, V'Masisa Tabei Bar Kaza. He said over a brisa. Rav Yehuda Bar Kaza said over a brisa, and from the yeshiva of Bei Bar Kaza, it says in the brisa, Tavak Subasa, Arei Hi Kibetchila. If at any time during the 25 years she demanded her ksuba, so then the clock starts again, even though she didn't get her ksuba. As long as she mentioned it, and after 24 years she says, "Give me the ksuba," and for some reason it got delayed. She has another. The clock starts again because we see she wasn't local within 25 years. And then it says openly the brisa, "Moyishtag ksuba yosef mitachas yadeh, v'over ksuba salom." But Perish brisa, like Rav had quoted before, that if she has a star, then her silence is not a mechila, and she could collect it forever. So Perish brisa, like Rav had said before, the name of Rabbi Yossi. The Gemara continues. Shalach Rav Nachman bar Chisda Rav Nachman bar Yaakov. Ilamdeni Rabbeinu Kishishtak Suba Yosef Mitachas Yad Machlokis, or Kishain Shtak Suba Yosef Mitachas Yad Machlokis. That which the Rabbanan say that she's mochel after 25 years is not talking about that she, even if she has a star, or dafka she has no star. How much the question what that's talking about? Maybe they're talking about machlokis means machlokis Rabbanan Rabbanan. The fact that the Rabbanan say that she's mochel after 25 years is that even with the star that she has. And second question, Allah me. What do we pass him like as far as this whole machlokis? Rabbi says that 25 years is a limitation when she's in her solemn's house and she's eating it up. Maybe she's eating it and she ate up the ksuba within after 25 years. And the Rabbanan say no, it has to do with being mochel if she didn't ask for it when she's by her husband, when she's by her father's home. So who do you pass him like? Shalach lei. So he sent back. This was Rav Nachman bar Yaakov. Sent back to Rav Nachman bar Chisda. First of all, b'she'en shtak suba yosef mitachas yada machlokis. Avol shtak suba yosef mitachas yada go b'ksubas olam. Also, the way Rav said, and we have already a brisa and also Rav, and then we have another opinion. Rav Nachman bar Yaakov also says that Rabbanan only says she's mochel if she doesn't come with a star. If she comes with a star, then she has no mechila, even if she's quite 25 years. And as far as who we paskin like, Allah that not the question about eating it up in 25 years, but rather being mochel after 25 years. That's how we paskin, and that's going to be an Allah. We paskin like the Rabbanan. That the issue was not about eating it up within 25 years, but the issue is that she's mochel. If she didn't say anything for 25 years, and she's by her father's home, she's not embarrassed to demand the ksuba. The fact that she was quiet, that silence shows that she's mochel. But if she has a ksuba, then the silence is not a raya, she was not mochel. That's going to be Allah. We'll see in the Shulchan Aruch in a second. The Gemara continues. Kiyasa of Dimi. New point. Kiyasa of Dimi, Amr Shimon Pazi, Amr B'Shulban, maybe Mishum Bakapara. So a quotation of somebody in the name of Bar Kapara. He said the following: Lo Shana Valamana Masayim, Abot Tasefes Yeshla. Even when she's mochel, she was mochel after 25 years, she didn't say anything. So every ksuba has the minimum, which is the 100 if she's an almana, and masayim if she's a basula when she got married. And there's also tosefes. People add on the tosefta, they add on to the ksuba. So here it says that even when she's mochel, she's only mochel the minimum. She's not mochel the tosefes. Even if she's quiet for 25 years, she's not mochel the tosefes. Rabbi Avo and Rabbi Yochanan afilu tosefes einla. She's mochel everything. The tosefes goes together with the same thing as the ksuba. Whatever you say about the ksuba goes to the tosefes also. If she's mochel everything. And it brings down who said that. Dam Rabbi Aivu, Am Rabbi Yanai, Tanai ksuba ki ksuba dami. That anything that has to do Tanai ksuba here means the tosefes. Anything else she added on, any other conditions that were added on, and here he said I'm going to add on more to the ksuba that has the same thing as the ksuba, and therefore if she's mochel the ksuba, she's also mochel the tosefes ksuba. Comes out of machlokis that Bar Kapora said that she's not mochel the tosefes, and Rabbi Yochanan said that she is mochel the tosefes. Itmanami Amr Baba Amr Huna Amr Rav Loshan Velamana Masayim Abu Tosefes Yeshla. Rav also quoted the same thing as Bar Kapora that she's not mochel the tosefes. Amalei Rabbi Abba Rav Huna Amr Rav Achi. So really, how did I say a second ago? Rabbi Abba said the name of Rav Huna what Rav said. But then, even though Rav said it over, he asked Rav Huna, you just told me that Rav said that she's not mochel to the tosefes. Rav said so. Amar Rav Hachi, Rav said so. So Rav Huna was not sure what Rav was saying. Amalei, is shtikan kamrit or ashakin kamrit? So Rashi explains that he was asking, are you coming to complain against what I said, or are you happy with what I said? He said, like, did Rav say so? So he could be excited, oh, Rav said so. Or he means to say, it couldn't be Rav said such a thing. So the way Rashi explains the word shtikan karmit, you're trying to quiet me down, means I said something in the name of Rav, and you say, did Rav say that? Means you're trying to say that can't be? Or are you complimenting me? Rashi says the word ashakian means like, you want to give me a drink, you want to give me a l'chaim. I said just a nice thing in the name of Rav. So he said, shtikan karmit. I meant to say to quiet you down that it's very difficult to say that there's difference between the tosefes and she's mochel only the mana masayim, she's not mochel the tosefes. He thinks that you mochel everything, like Rabbi Yanai said, tonight ksuba kiksuba, and therefore she's mochel the ikar, she's mochel the tosefes also.
What's the logic or the rationale?
I don't know. But Ram asked the question before, and I was learning. He said, why should it be so that if she's mochel, why should she be mochel only the mana masayim and she shouldn't be mochel the rest? I don't know. I didn't know. Why should be this for that? If it has to do with being mochel, tosefes is
usually less, wouldn't it, or not?
I don't think so. No. Could be more.
It could
Nowadays,
be more.
I think so. Even nowadays, I think that the next Mez Kufin Kesef, They make, I think that's might even be more than the Messiah Zuz. Because the Messiah Zuz, then the people add on his cooking kesef. So I think it could be more. I got the one Amar Aleph, and the Gemara talk about Marsa Bas Baisis. Over there is going in Omer. The Gemara is going about there about eating up the value of the ksuba in 25 years. That a poor woman, a rich woman, does everybody eat it up the same amount? So there the Gemara was assuming, without talking, the Gemara assumed that it goes on the Tosefos also. If it's only on the Mana Messiah, then it's no difference how rich she is.
Maybe
How big the
it
ksuba
goes
is.
back to the rabbis when they decided on 25 years, it's connected. After 25 years, you'll give up on 200 zoos. But after 25 years, you won't give up on $2 million. That
What
would
does me
take 100 years.
why is me giving up? And it means that she decided no one is forcing her. She's not giving up. It's not like she's giving
mochel
it.
on it.
She's
right?
mochel. Why is she mochel? Because she didn't demand it. It must be she's mochel. No one's pressuring her.
I understand, but you have to come up. It's a human psychology thing,
Right.
right? The rabbi said, listen, if somebody owes somebody 200 zoos and they haven't said anything for 25 years,
It must
they
be
must
normal.
have given up on it. But
But
they can't
giving up is a way of not. I'm not sure what giving up means. Giving up sounds like but that's giving up sounds sometimes like Yimiyayish, like you lose hope. There's no losing hope. She didn't even ask for it. It's not. It's just
Okay.
right. Okay.
Right. So,
She waived it. She
okay,
waived
she
it.
waived it. But somebody who has $2 million coming to them, just because they haven't said anything for 25 years, you can't assume that they waived it. It's such a large amount of money that maybe it would take 100 years. You know what I'm saying? There's a sheer connected to the
That's
amount.
good. You happy with the answer? That
There's also-
bigger amount of money, maybe she's not
So
that
that's a
much.
little amount of money.
What? Two was not, no, but 25 years is a long time. But now you're talking about more money. So even though she's mochel that amount of money, doesn't necessarily mean that she's
I mean,
mochel
because
more.
she got presents over the years. So she said for 25 years, it's worth it.
Even though
it evens out.
or I have gratitude, I have that much gratitude I have in 25 years more.
200
But the fact that there's more, maybe that's not right that she's mochel, even though she was quiet.
Very
okay.
nice. Chicago.
Okay. And what does the Gemara say about this? It comes out tonight. The Gemara at Lamaisa comes out tonight. Ksuba kiksuba that she's mochel everything. If she didn't say anything, she's mochel everything. The rest of the Gemara now is a story that I don't get. Today I'm just going to be a rough copy. We have time, so I'll do it till the end. I saw it roughly, and I don't have all the details. It's an interesting story, but I have a problem. But if it's okay, we'll learn the Gemara with the problem, and tomorrow I'll try to have the problem ironed out. But that's to get the text meanwhile. Here goes the story. Chamse the Rav Chia Aricha.
It's the mother-in-law. or what?
Right. The mother-in-law of Rav Chia Aricha, not the regular Rav Chia Aricha. That usually means like the long one, the tall Rav Chia, not the regular one that we know. But there was a person, Rav Chia Aricha, and he had a mother-in-law. Intas Achua Avoy. She was the wife of his brother. Means somebody, Rav Chia's brother was married to his mother-in-law. That's okay. That's not a big. He's not allowed to marry a mother-in-law, but his brother could marry his mother-in-law. So two brothers. One of them was married to the daughter, and one of them was married to the mother.
She didn't need Yibum.
What?
She didn't need Yibum because it's
Yes, she didn't know. And her husband died. The mother-in-law, her husband died, which happened to be the brother of Rav Chia Aricha, and they had no children, and he was the Yoresh,
Who died?
the one married to the mother-in-law. We don't have a name about him.
Yeah.
Rav Chia Aricha's brother. So she was the mother-in-law, and she had a husband who was the brother of her son-in-law, and the husband died. And her son-in-law is the Yoresh of her husband because he's the brother. There was no children, no father, so it goes to the brother. So here you had a case where the son-in-law was the brother, was the Yoresh of her late husband, and he's supposed to give him mazonos. So he did. He was giving mazonos to his mother-in-law from his brother's estate. He supported. She was Amar B'Veisavi, means she went back home. She didn't stay with her son-in-law, with the Yerusha, the one older owner of the Yerusha. She went back home to her father's home, and the son-in-law, was supporting her for 25 years by her father's home. The soap Amrle Havli Mazoni.
What's
That's
the
it.
name?
Benisha means her father's home.
Nasha?
Benisha, right? Benisha. There's Benisha. Right. The woman's home. The woman's father's home is called Benisha. The self Amrale Havli Mazoni. After 25 years, she continued asking for food. He supported her for 25 years, and after 25 years, she said, "Also, give me food." Continue to support. Now, is she right? Does she deserve to get support after 25 years?
Why the 25-year thing only applies to
To the
Ketuvah.
To the Kesuvos. That's all we saw so far. That after 25 years, she didn't say anything, so she waived the Kesuvah. Does she waive also the Mazonos?
No,
So I also would have thought not. The Gemara seems to say yes, which that's like a huge thing, which I'm not sure about. That's one of the things that I'm saying that I don't understand. It could be that maybe Mazonos is Tnai Ksuba Ksuba, and one of the only reason why he's supporting her is because that's the Ksuba. If she waives the Ksuba, so she waives not only the 200 zuz and the Tosefes, she waives everything. And the only reason why she supported and lives in the husband's house is only because of the halakha Ksuba. And if she didn't demand the 25 years, maybe she waived everything. That's what it seems to say. I'm not what.
That's the other way to learn the sugya.
So you say it's Pasha. So it comes out a huge thing that
No, because she has to mention the Kesuvah.
she should have mentioned it. She's getting Mazonos the whole time. Why should she mention? She's getting Mazonos. She's getting Mazonos. And she asked for Mazonos, but when should she have asked for Mazonos on the 21st?
No, she should remind them about the Kesuvah.
every few years, just let them
Every
know.
year she reminds them. Restart the concept. They have to remind them.
But the law is about when you demand the Ksuba, you lose Mazonos.
She's not demanding it.
that's-
she's not demanding, she's
I was
reminding.
just reminding him that I don't think that I was mochalit.
Yeah.
Okay, don't think I was mochalit. But she didn't say that. So she was mochalit and was saying a possibility.
We're saying-
When she's mochel ksuba, she's mochel everything. So now she doesn't get mazono, she doesn't get the right to live in the house anymore. She happened not to have taken the right to live in the house. She was living by her father.
Yeah.
She could have lived by her husband's house, but she didn't, and she didn't say anything for 25 years. So the son-in-law said she was mochel. So no more food. He stopped sending the food. Lo, less lach mazoni. You have no right to mazonos anymore. So she said, "Have ksuba, give me the ksuba." Lo mazoni is lach, lo ksuba is lach. You have no right not to the mazonos, not to the ksuba. So she took him to Bezdin. She took her son-in-law to Bezdin that you're not giving me from the Yerusha that I deserve to get from my late husband, 25 years ago. Tavati Ladina made the Rabbi Bashila. So they came to the Bezdin of Rabbi Bashila, and so the Dayan, Rabbi Bashila, he asked Rav Chia Richa what's doing, what's the story? Amalei, Emily, easy, Gufa Duvta Echiab. We had the word, we had a couple of times this word, easy, and not so clear what the word translation is. Some say my friend, some say it's not so clear that it's just from the
Now,
context.
some people say
Some
now.
say I don't remember that. Some say efo, like the word mkane efo, which also doesn't have a translation in English. Mkane efo zosasu. I don't know. I don't have a good translation for the word. Easy. Do you have anything in our scroll?
Says now.
Now?
Emily Easy, tell me.
Tell me now. Okay, that's what Rav was saying. So tell me, what was the story? What's the story? Why you stopped giving mazonas?
What's
Amalei.
Gufa? Is it itself?
What? Gufa the actual story. Gufa dov the Echiyav. What was the actual story?
Tell me
Amalei.
the actual story.
Yeah. Amalei. Zanisa esimu chameshani b'bein Shah. I supported her for 25 years in her father's home.
B'chaye.
B'chayi damar debikasfo yamtila. And I swear by your life, you Dayan, I swear by your life that I carried it by my own shoulder. I carried her the food every day with myself. I gave her my mother-in-law. I was a good son-in-law. I'm not a son-in-law. I was a good
What, the
Yoresh.
Mazonos?
He happens to be a son-in-law.
The
But
Mazonos?
I took Mazonos for 25
He's
years.
saying he carried the Mazonos?
I brought him Mazonos for 25 years. And what does he mean to say? And she didn't say anything. The Chari means to say. And she didn't demand the Kesuvos for 25 years. I've been giving her Mazonos. I did my responsibility. I gave her 25 years Mazonos. And she didn't say anything. He doesn't say those words, but she didn't say anything. And that means that she was mochel. And it was in her father's home. And we know that if she's in her husband's home, so that in fact she was quiet, doesn't show anything because she's embarrassed to ask, because she's being done favors. She's living by the
She's in her
Yisoman,
father's
so but she's in her father's home. I took it by myself. I took it to her father's home for 25 years. So the Rav said,
Amarle?
Amalei, the Rav said, the Dayan said, time of my Omer Rabbanan calls Machi Bebeis Balagov Subasalolam Darmina Mishum Kisufahu de Lotova. How come the Rabbanan say the difference between if it's by living by her father's home, living by her husband's home? Because if she's living by her husband's home, by the Yisomim, so the fact that she's quiet doesn't mean anything because she's embarrassed. Kisufa, she's embarrassed to ask. They're being so good to her. She's living by the Yorshin and they're giving her food. So the fact that she's quiet doesn't show anything, only if she's by her father's home. But you, that was such a good, dedicated son-in-law, not the son-in-law point, is the fact that you brought it by your hand. Every day you came 25 years ago. So she was embarrassed of you also. Even though she was by her father's home, you can't bring a proof from the silence that she didn't demand it, such as mochel. The reason why she didn't demand it is because she was embarrassed of you, that you're being so good to her.
I didn't get it from the words.
What's the reason why the abundance say as long as she's in her husband's house, she could collect the ksuba forever?
Because she's
Because we
embarrassed.
say that because of embarrassment, she didn't demand.
Ah.
Here also, he made it an embarrassing situation. You're so good to her. So she didn't have the face to be able to say, give me the ksuba.
He's saying she was embarrassed, even though she was in her father's house.
Right. Why?
Why?
Because he was bringing her to her father's house. There's a special delivery every day on his shoulder. He brought mazonos to her. So what should she say? Avon my ksuba. It's even more embarrassing than if she just be living by him. He made the tircha.
Normally, how does she get it? Somebody
Usually
sends
they
it.
send once a year. They send how much money she's supposed to get from mazonos.
Uh-huh.
They send an envelope with a
I
shliach
said, but he's coming every
every
day.
day to bring a mazonos personally.
So
What
that's
should she
also
say?
an embarrassment.
That's also an
Like,
embarrassment. So
so
even
then
though he
he
meant to be
says,
so
"Yo,
good,
Papa."
but it worked against him because now the fact that she was quiet doesn't show that she was mochel ksuba. So the Rav said, give her ksuba.
So how-
Zil havla, go give her ksuba.
There's also a big difference between the ketubah and the mizono. The ketubah, the mizono, she's getting it every day. She's actively receiving it. And you
Yes.
would think that if she doesn't want to receive it, she's mochel on it, she'd say, that's enough, stop. The ketubah, she's not getting anything. So she's in a way, she's not receiving anything all of this time. And after 25 years expired, she's
But
not
again,
receiving.
when she's by her
In
father,
general, in
by her
general.
father's home,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't, no matter where she is, in general, when she's receiving mazono,
Yes.
she's claiming what's
She's-
due to her. She's
right.
accepting it,
Right.
right? So it shows she wants it. She's not mochalet, she's taking it every day. In the ketubah, she's not accepting anything. It's almost as if she's saying, I don't need it, even as the time goes by.
If she was quiet for 25 years and she's mochel ksuba, that part's good. She didn't say anything for 25. She didn't demand
She's
ksuba.
mochalet,
She's
yeah,
mochel.
she's not getting anything.
Right, and
By the
she
mazono.
didn't ask for it. That means that she was mochel.
Right, but the mazonot, if she's mochalet, if she wants to stop receiving mazonot, she should say enough. But she takes it every day. It shows she wants it. She's not being after 25, 100. As long as
So
she's
go back.
taking
So
it.
now we're going back to the beginning of the sugya, which we got this shock over here that if she doesn't get the ksuba anymore, then she also doesn't get mazonas.
Right, I guess it just
So you
doesn't
ask-
bother
you-
me so much.
So Mike's asking, where's the logic? She's mochel. That's when she didn't say anything, but she's getting mazonas the whole time. So now you're going to say that you didn't ask for the ksuba, so you mochel the ksuba and the mazonas also.
Right, the mazonos you're getting.
That's sticky.
She should say stop. If she's mochel the mazonos, enough. Okay,
But they're saying it's a kind of a low plug or something.
It goes together. It's a
It goes
package deal.
together with the
It's a
ketubah,
package deal.
whether
If
she
you mochel the
accepts it every
ksuba,
day
now
or
you
not.
mochel the mazonas also.
Yeah.
And Mike's asking that you don't see the mechila so much.
Yeah.
You see the mechila on the ksuba, but now we're saying that it's attached. It's a package deal. If you lose the ksuba, you lose the mazonas also. This is a sticky point. So the Rav said that he has to give her ksuba. That you think she was mochel because she was quiet? No, you don't say any mechila. What?
He has to keep on
No,
giving.
if you give the ksuba, you don't have to give the mazonas anymore. So we have to give the ksuba. But lo ashkach, he didn't listen.
This is like hashgacha or no?
Oh, the word ashkach,
Mhm.
ashkach. He didn't pay attention. He didn't pay attention. What does word ashkach usually mean? To pay attention.
To
To be mashgiach,
supervise. We say
supervise.
supervise.
Okay, so that means like paying attention. That's the
Yeah.
point. So he didn't pay attention. He didn't listen.
Meaning what? He
He
wasn't-
didn't give the ksuba. He didn't
He didn't
agree.
give the ksuba and he didn't give the mazonas. He
Right,
stopped
right. He
everything.
still held the shita. So he still held of his opinion that she was quiet for 25 years. I mean, she's mochel everything. And the Rav said, no, he didn't listen.
She went to a dayan
And he
and he
lost the case and
lost
he
the
didn't
case and
listen.
he didn't listen.
Kasav la adrachta anichse. So the Rav wrote an adrachta. What's an adrachta? That like a collection kind of declaration that we're going to collect. We're going to foreclose on the nechasim to be able to give the ksuba. That you owe the ksuba and you don't want to give it. So then if you don't give it peacefully, what's it called? Like it's all a poem to executing the law. And he wrote adrachta. Adrachta. The word adrachta. Does Rashi trace translation of an adrachta?
Like a collection edict or something.
Psak din ligbos nechasav b'chol hashitim. So it's a psak to be able to collect from his property wherever it might be. The translation is that they say translation for adrachta.
Document of seizure.
A seizure. Okay,
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
great.
A right to seize property that belongs to him because he owes her ksuba. What happened after that?
Document of seizure.
So Asal Kamei di Rava. So this person who's being demanded from, he came to Rava he didn't agree with the psak of Rava. Who was it? Rava Bashila. Who was that? Who was the Rava over here? It was Rava Bashila. So he didn't
he
agree
went
to the
to
psak.
Rava?
So he went to and he already got there was already a document of seizure against him. He went to Rava. Amalei Chazima Rechi Danan. Look what he did. Look what Rabbi Bashila passed against me. Amalei Shaper Danach. He's right. The other Rava was right. Amalei. So that, and the woman also was there by Rava. Amalei Yachi Lezel Hadali Peri Demenahu Yoma Ada Itna. So the woman, the mother-in-law, she was demanding the produce that the field he should have been able to. He should have given her ksuba. So she wanted to demand even the profits that field produced from the time that she won the first case. She won the case by Rabbi Bashila, and she was given a document of seizure. She didn't execute it, but she said from the time that I was allowed to execute it, to be able to seize it, so I should be eligible to get the profits that field produced.
From that date, not
From that date, from
not
the
from
day.
you,
Not from
today
today.
with you, Rafa.
Right, from the day of the first psak. So, Allah,
Achazi,
what's that?
nothing, go ahead.
Achvili adrachtich, show me the document of seizure. Chazye de lahava kosova, he saw that something was a technical problem in the document, that it wasn't written correctly. It doesn't say the following words. The following words, I'll try to highlight it if I know how to do this still. These are the words that it should have said. It didn't say the following words. It should have said, Ishtemodana, the nechasim elu, the misnainum. Those are the words you should have said. And we recognize, the Bezdin writes, we recognize that this property belongs to the dead man. Means they have to know, means which property are they allowed to seize? Not the property of this Rav Chia Aricha, only the property that he inherited.
Right.
Only that is Meshubit to pay for the zonos, the ksuba. So even though there was a document of seizure, it only should be on the property that he inherited. And he wrote a
From the
stamp
brother, right?
from the
It was
brother,
to
right?
the
But
two
he right,
brothers.
right. And Rabbi Bashila made a mistake, and he wrote a document of seizure as if it's on all of the estate of Rav Chia Aricha, and that was a mistake. Amallah, so Rabba said to the woman, to the mother-in-law, "Adrachta lav shapek siva." It's not written well. It's not a good document. There's a problem here. Amrulay. So she said, "Okay, tezel adrachta. Okay, falfalan. That should go. The adrachta, forget about it.
What's that draft?
Adrachta is that document of seizure.
Oh,
That's the word that was used before.
what is?
Let it go. Okay, say
Let
put
it
it
go.
in the garbage. No, that's okay. Forget about that. Forget about that.
Just give me my ketubah.
But ishkol miyoma d'shlima yoma achrazda ad hashta. Give me at least from the day that from the day of the auctioning was over. Means I'm missing some information here. I didn't get all the details yet. We get fill it in tomorrow. That after they make this adrachta, so then there's also the 60 days or 30 days that they're supposed to auction it off, and then from the day that that's over, so then he should be allowed to collect. Not from the day of the writing of the document, but the day that the auctioning was over. I should be able to collect the payros from that previous date, from that date, not from the early
She's
date,
throwing it
from
away,
the later
but
date. At least give me that. What?
We're talking about 60 days from this draft.
30 days from the draft or something, right?
Well, if the whole thing is zeal, then.
No, so it means that would have given her permission to collect even from the day of the document was written. And that, for some reason, is puzzled. But at least let me get from 30 days later, something like that. Let me collect from 30 days later.
Well, why?
Yeah, okay, so here I'm fuzzy. I
It says they
didn't,
do
this is,
an auction, a public auction 30 days before.
they do a public auction for 30
The
days.
halacha
30-day
the
auction.
halacha is correct. The halacha is that she's entitled to collect from the nechasim. The drachta is not a problem, but the halacha is correct, and she's allowed to get them, and they said they do.
And they made an auction, and from those 30 days, after that, she should be eligible to collect at least from there.
30 days.
Amallah, hani mili echad lo ksiv tusa badrachta, aval echad ksiv tusa badrachta leslan ba. He said, no, once there's a mistake in the document, so then you don't have a right to collect even from the 30 days later. You don't have a right to collect of that also. Amalei, but she was a big lump this mother-in-law.
Yeah.
But Amaru da Amar, Achrais Tel Sofer, you, Rabbi, your pshita is Achrais Tel Sofer, that if there's not Achrais written, even if there's not Achrais written in the document, we assume that it was just a mistake of the scribe, and everything else always has Achrais. I'm fuzzy. I'm just reading the words now without really know what I'm talking about. Well, just an introduction for them.
That the sofer is the one who's going to be
mistake.
responsible.
Not that it's responsible, but it's just a mistake. It's every shah always has a achrayas, as if it's all guaranteed, and if he
Even
didn't
if
write
there's
it,
mistakes,
it's
it
just a
has
mistake.
achrayas.
So he told. I'm just reading the words now. Amalei Rabba, but Rabba said, no, here it's different. Here you don't say achrayas to sofer. Tibaha afilu Rabba bashila toy. even he made now not only the sofer made it, Rabbi Bashila made a mistake, and he thought that everything belongs, everything is going to be meshubed now, is going to be collected. Who sabrahani v'hani didei? He thought that everything belongs to him. That means all the really only the estate which was the Yerusha. That's what's meshubed, and he thought that everything is meshubed. Mali mahani, mali mahani. What's the difference? Which in the chasim it was? Belohi, but that's wrong. Zin and the Oslo Meshab Chalahu with the Bala Machasvi. Sometimes she's going to improve those Nechasim, and the ones that really belong to her husband are not going to be taken care of. They're going to become weakened. V'amri la, v'amar la, shekil didach, v'havli didi. And Yoresh is going to say, take the ones that yours and give me back mine. Means that she's not going to know which Nechasim it was. There was a mistake. Which Nechasim is really Meshubit that she's allowed to take. There's going to be a bad news against a rumor against the Bezdin that they gave her something which is not the value of what she really deserved to get. That's a rough copy. I don't have all the shot. We'll come back tomorrow.
What's she going to end up with? Nothing.
And therefore, she has no right to collect from those nechasim either, and they have to get a new adrachta and start. She's still right, but she can't collect Paris back pay from the Paris that had been. She has to get a new adrachta.
She can get a new adrachta.
She can get a new adrachta. Yeah, she could. But the first one was a mistake. So let's do it again. But you can't go back and collect from the time that the document was written, or even 30 days later. And I don't get all that. I'm sorry that I didn't prepare this part. But she won the case, yeah, and he was wrong. The son-in-law was wrong. She was not wrong. The main point of this Gemara is that even if she was quiet for 12, 25 years, it doesn't show that she's mochel because he was being so good to her.
Well, I guess after that, he wasn't being so nice to me. He was throwing the fool
Already,
on the floor. He wasn't being so nice.
That last day
That's it.
was it.
It sounds like
It was
an
nice for
available
25
boss.
years.
It's not nasty, yeah.
After this, it's like
Okay.
an boss.
Right.